Balancing balancing of roles is a tough thing because with the current responsibilities and the speed of the life is humongous, and we all are juggling with different assignment tasks and different roles and different responsibilities, and it's very hard to manage everything in a right order, in a right framework, in a right manner to make a balance in life. So many a time my colleagues in my company ask me that, how you can do all these things with all the charity work as well, and then what is your relationship with your wife? Is she happy? Because we see you come early in the morning and you go very late in the evening, and then you are the director health services in Al Khidmat. You are the chairman board advisory board in Batak School. You are a chairman advisory board of the Working Women Welfare Trust. You are the CEO of a pharmaceutical company. You got four kids, and you did your PhD as well with all this, responsibilities. So how you do the balance in life, and especially the work-life balance, and your work is very much consuming. So, and this is, I believe, everybody face the similar kind of load of work or the responsibilities. So I'm sure, mashallah, you all are connected with Salim Bhai, which is a blessing to all of us. We'll discuss about how you can uh, develop a good balance in life and how you can play your roles in a different situations in a manner which is justified. And we all understand about the excellence, doing things in the best possible manner. And our Islam mention is like with the ihsan, with the husn. So we're going to talk about this. So can you, brother, please go to the next slide? Yeah, and the next one. Yeah, so we have developed a framework based on Islamic ideology. And I have taught this balance in life framework to people with wonderful results. And over the years, this BIF, Balance in Life Framework, I made it like an abbreviation of it as an acronym. So the BIF has evolved and refined through teaching and research. So, when I got the certification and I got the content and the material, then I did it my research, my personal research as well to find out how to make it more relevant, more practical, and more understandable to the larger audience. So I did the same, sessions at many places. I forgot to mention I'm a CEO of a education network, which is a commercial project of our family. Under that, we run three schools and one college with a university ADP program also. And there are about right now about 1,000 students. So every month, I conduct a session with the parents of our school children, and Alhamdulillah, phenomenal results and phenomenal outcome of coming through those discussions. So we're going to talk about today about this balance and life framework. Can you go to the next part, please? No, yeah, the back one, please. The next part of the previous slide. Yes. And that is not with our life only. This is an age-old challenge, balancing our lives. So wars had to be fought and long trading trips taken, which kept families apart from months on,
Where are you
and
going?
resulting in a demand to find creative solutions. So next, please. So the best part of this, Islam has provided us a wonderful understanding of all these roles, and also provide the guidance and the definition and the ideas to achieve this balance in a very elegant, sophisticated, and versatile. And it is different from the dominant intervention paradigms originating in the West today. And we're going to talk about also these two perspective of the West and the Islamic perspective, that how to deal with the different situations and different aspects of life. So next, please. So as I mentioned, and we will further discuss on this thing, that there are two major roles as a Muslim, as a human being also, whatever religion you follow, but these two roles always runs with you. One is your mandated roles, and the other one is elective roles. So as a father or as a son or as a husband, as a wife, these are the mandated responsibilities. And Islam has a clear guidelines. Sunnah has provided the complete detail of our actions. And there are elective roles. So, for example, your work, your business, your relatives, like your cousins, your even your neighbors, these are all elective roles. Islam also provided a good conduct in those areas, but those are elective roles. And there is a difference between the mandated and the elective roles. Next, please. So the difference between two roles, that mandated role is that your ideology does not permit you to drop under any condition. And we're going to talk about ideology also and the different ideologies present in our society. But the elective roles, a role in life which your ideology permits you to drop under certain conditions. And those conditions can be uh, very challenging, or maybe in some situations they're not uh, very challenging, but you need to decide that in what situations you're going to back off from your elective roles, but you cannot back off from the mandated role. So this simple list of different roles in life actually describe the whole 3 degree 360-degree perspective of the relationship that we have. So for example, son, father, husband, now you are as a grandfather, so that's an elective role, that's not a mandated role. Grandson, daughter is a mandated role. Niece, nephew, uncle, aunt, neighbor, cousin, subordinate, mentor, colleagues, friend, engineer, doctor, human. These all are elective roles. But when you come here as slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's again a mandated role. You cannot drop in any circumstances, in any situation. Similarly, as a ummati, member of the ummah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you have to take it as a mandated role and you cannot drop that in any situations. So on the rest of the relationships and the rest of the roles, those are elective, and it's a situation guides you then when you can drop. And by dropping means then you should not just get rid of that role. No, we're going to talk about how you're going to making a minimum performance level in that role as well, so that you are not going into the area of transgression or zulm. Rather, you are creating a basic bare minimum performance in that area as well, so that you can fulfill the bare minimum responsibility of that role. So we will further discuss on that. Next, please. So when there's a balance, there must be imbalances as well. So what are the imbalances in your roles? So a clear indication of an imbalance in our roles would be a situation where someone is a very good businessman, his business is thriving, but he's a very poor father. And poor father, not in his own eyes, he feels and believe, and he actually also deliver that He's providing all necessities to the family, all material necessities, even all spiritual necessities as well. But that is done from his own lens, from his own eyes, from his own paradigm. But he never asked from the receivers, what do you feel about my role? Am I fulfilling my responsibility? Are you happy with that role? Are you satisfied or are you not satisfied? So, similarly, maybe as a female, you are a very good engineer, but a poor wife. So, your husband has no value for your presence in his life. Or as a spouse, your partner, won't feel that your presence or absence make any difference. Rather, he or she would be happy that if you are not with him or her. So that means it is creating an imbalance. Next, please. One more. Yeah. Jazakallah. So moving to the ideology, because that drives the whole conduct. So your attitude, your behaviors actually depend on your ideology. So every society is built upon an ideology, and the dictionary defines ideology as the basic beliefs and guiding principles of a person or a group. This underlying ideology defines the basic paradigms of thought in a society, such as the definition of success, failure, happiness, contentment, the origins of the universe, and how it functions. And these are very fundamental things, but it needs to be addressed, it needs to be discussed, it needs to be elaborated with your family, with your children. Because success, in our society, if you look from the materialistic perspective or from a societal perspective, the parameters are entirely different. If you got a good education, if you got a good job, if you establish a good business, if you got a good big house, if you got a good car, you are extremely successful. And honestly, I had the similar kind of understanding in my teenage life and in my even early adulthood. But then I got people around me who guided me that what is the real success in life and what is the reason to exist in this world, why Allah has created us. So, nothing wrong in having a good education, nothing wrong in having a good job or a business. But the crux of the matter is that does that job or business or education actually putting roadblock in obeying the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or it is helping you to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the major difference in the paradigm of success and failure. So, ideology is actually derived from the beliefs and the paradigms. And next, please, and how you should connect these ideology with the right perspective. So, and any ideology which has been clearly articulated and written is the definition of ideology. But there are personal ideologies as well. Like the ideology which a person carries, personal ideology could be identical to a defined ideology or could be a combination of some defined ideologies and unique personal beliefs and assertions. So when my daughter got a proposal, she was 19, and I also shared last time also, but just to touch upon about the personal ideologies. So my son-in-law, he spoke to me about, when we are actually talking and meeting him the first time. He said, Uncle, if you like me, then I have two conditions. And I thought in my, heart and mind, oh, what kind of person he is, coming first time to my house and putting conditions. And I was thinking, pata nahi kya conditions honge, what kind of condition you gonna put? So he said, first thing, I will do the rukhsati from your home. So five or six people will come from my home, my father, my mother, my sister, my two sister, and my brother-in-law. And I will not take anything, means anything, not even the suit that you give on walima or because that's not good from taking it from the girl's family. And I need to do this marriage within 3 months if you agree today or tomorrow, or maybe you take some time. But as soon as you say yes, I'll do this in 3 months. And you know what? My personal ideology and the societal ideology is completely on a different tangent. What you talking about, man? I have a big circle. My phone has 6,000 contacts, and I've been almost every other day I'm attending somebody's wedding, the daughter, the son, and I said to him, if I do this, my whole friend circle would be like angry and they would never talk to me. So, and I was so amazed and surprised and pleasantly, surprised. He was so clear and interestingly, he's not like a very learned, practicing Muslim in all dimensions. But I don't know how he got all this clear thoughts. Salim Bhai also knows him very well, and he takes a lot of guidance from him also. So he said, Uncle, give me one reason from our Islamic ideology which describe that it is very important to do a big wedding ceremony from the girl's father's money and invite all of them. There is no explanation of it in Islam. And people like us who can afford to invite thousands of guests should refrain from it. And the best part is that being a boy, I'm saying it. So no matter how many guests you have and you want to invite them in walima. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, I don't care. So I thought it's a good idea. So I said, okay. So I talked to his father separately that, okay, we'll do walima together. So I'll share the cost also. You know what his father told me? No, no, Jamshed bhai, don't do this. My son, he is my son. I love him, but he's very crazy about it. And he gonna be very angry if he came to know. So if you're gonna, I would love to do that because that saves a lot of money. But if you want to do it, talk to him. Don't talk to me. And brothers, please believe me that I did not incur a single penny cost for uh, doing that whole wedding of my daughter. The only thing that we gave some dresses because Noj has nothing and she went to Qatar after getting married because the son-in-law was in Qatar. And he did in the 3 months done. I said, my brother-in-law, my cousins, my everyone is outside the country, so they cannot join in 3 months. He said Islam does not, tell you to invite all of them and they should come and take all the pain and just ask them to pray for, the happiness of the couple. So every time he gave me the reason from our ideology, which honestly made me speechless. And Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, I'm very blessed from Almighty that that boy came to our family and got married to my daughter. At the age of 19, she was studying in IBA in the first semester, and I did deep meaning meeting with my daughter also, and he said, Baba, I'm too young to decide. You being guardian decide. That was a lottery to me. I said, I decide that you should get married right away because the fitna going around us is phenomenal and I cannot protect you. So it's better to, and I found the family, and you know what? No investigation. Still, I think that I such a stupid guy that I didn't do any. And the father of the boy was a professor of medicine, and I got a very big circle afterwards. Lot many people came to me and told all that stories. I did istikhara. I reflected on it. I met with the boy. I arranged a 1 hour meeting with my daughter. Done. So next day I said yes to the family that we're gonna do this. So the point I'm trying to establish here, these all from our personal ideologies. My thoughts were, the societal, the family, log kya kahenge, the people will feel, say bad. And some of them said, oh, we heard that your daughter got married and you didn't invite us. And I invited almost uh, 310 guests in the Walima ceremony because he was insisting me that I'll be naraz from you if you don't invite. His guests were about 150 and my guests were around 310. Even then, I couldn't invite 90% of my contacts because I cannot invite. So, like just brother, sister, their kids, and then the cousins and, very close people. But the boy guided me that this is not Islamic ideology. You are actually following your personal ideologies or the mix of personal and societal and the family and the subcontinent kind of belief system. And he actually clarified that, and he had the courage and audacity to help me to understand this, and alhamdulillah it been done. Next please. Salim bhai, how much time I have?
आप देख लें जितना भी मुनासिब टाइम आपको लगे। सलीम भाई जरा बाहर गए हैं, तो उन्होंने कहा है कि आप
All right. So no, Munasib, I can speak whole night, but what I'm because you all are busy, and I have Jamaat, Isha Jamaat after 20 minutes. Is that okay that I finish the
यस यस
Okay, perfect. So, inshallah, I will request to Salim Bhai that we can have one session in a month, same kind of online, and then probably we do a recap in April when I'll be inshallah there. So, now coming to the next concept after balancing balance and life framework, the minimum performance level, and that provides the balance and life framework. This is the foundation of that concept. So all societies define minimum performance levels in all possible roles. MPLs are dictated by the underlying dominant ideology of the society from the foundation of the legal system. And due to different underlying ideologies, MPLs, which is the abbreviation of minimum performance level, differ from society to society. So maybe in UK, their society would have a different benchmark for the minimum performance levels towards the parents. So like I stayed about 5 years in US. So in US, 18 years, the kids have to leave the house. They have to be independent. They feel very odd if after 18 years of age, the kids are living with the family. So it very different. So, the MPLs actually differ from society to society. Underlying dominant ideologies in most of the societies are a mix of many defined ideologies and unique beliefs and views. So most of the time we actually juggled with, or we actually stuck in a limbo, because we have personal beliefs and personal ideologies with our Islamic ideologies. And then we think what to do. If we follow 100% Islamic ideology, the people around us will make mockery of us, or they will, say bad words about us. So not only do ideologies get redefined with the passage of time, but their mix also fluctuates, resulting in the continual changes in the MPLs. So as we move forward, our thinking get matured. And then our ideologies also redefine, maybe upward or downward, or get influenced. So those brothers who moved out of Pakistan, settled in different countries, now they are getting influence from their ideologies as well. And their, festivities also get influenced by their cultural values. So that's about the minimum performance level and their variation. Next, please. But the good part is that in Islam and other religious ideologies, the influx or the variation is minimal for the MPLs, because those are actually connected with a very strong foundation in the guidelines and the commandments. So Islam is the only exception in ideologies, and it does not change or evolve due to the preservation of its main foundation, the Quran, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually promised to keep it protected, and there wouldn't be any change can be done to Quran, inshallah. So hence that MPLs are timeless and are not in a state of fluctuation. This is the most important cornerstone of the balance in life framework, because it is connected with the Quran and Sunnah, and both are almost preserved. Quran is 100%, and Sahih Hadith are also 100% preserved. So our track will be on a similar lines for the longer period of time. Next, please. So if you look at the balance of life in Islam, it says that our performance in any one of our roles must not fall below the MPLs guided by or dictated by the Islam. So if you look at the different roles that we talk about, you should define the minimum performance level in all the roles, especially in the mandated roles, and you should not. Can I have a break of 2 minutes for this azan?
जी जी जरूर
Please. Jazakallah.
फैसल भाई if you pause your recording.
At the when the Jamaat is standing, and I can get right away, Alhamdulillah. So coming back to this, our performance, any one of our roles must not fall below the MPLs guided by the Islam, and that's the bottom line. So minimum performance levels, how will we define the minimum performance level for the different roles, like father, husband, brother, as Abdullah, and as a boss, as a self for myself, and as a businessman. So can you go to the next slide, please? So this chart will give you a very good picture of the whole concept of this minimum performance level. So if you look at the y-axis, that shows the performance in different roles. So what kind of performance you're providing as a father, businessman, husband, brother, Abdullah, boss, and self. And at the x-axis, these are the roles. So at the red line is actually showing the minimum performance level of the, and that's a benchmark. And that's actually defined by the each individual. And we're going to do the exercise, inshallah, in the next session, that what could be the minimum performance level as a father. So you should not fall below that level. So, for example, how much time you give to your family, to your son or daughter and wife. So what could be the minimum? Is like a 1 hour quality time, one-on-one, focus, without mobile phone, without any distraction, without talking to someone else, without reading something. So that's the minimum, or half an hour, whatever. Whatever the circumstances permit you, you should write down. So as a father, this is the minimum performance level as far as the time is concerned. How about the financial well-being of the family? What could be the minimum performance level as a father for the financial, keeping the financial well-being of the family? So you define on a different head counts or the different heads that actually give you the role of the father. So, and then you have to also decide about, because Islam also guided what kind of role as a father you should play. And as a father, you cannot go below the minimum performance level, because then you enter into the transgression and you will be questioned about it. You will be accountable for your conduct. And same goes to businessman and a husband, brother, Abdullah, boss, self. Did you notice who is actually performing below the minimum performance level line? Because these green, blue, and yellow colors are showing different person. So person A, person B, person C. So can you point out by looking at the bars which person is performing below the minimum performance level?
Person
Anyone?
C,
Person C, where?
boss.
As a boss. How, what could he actually does to go in that area of transgression? What could he, he
So, Nushat bhai, he's overperforming as a husband too much. So he can lower it down and bring the boss to minimum level.
okay. And for example, Allah has asked us to submit 100%. So the reason of our existence to worship Almighty, nothing else, to just worship. Insan or jinn, the human being and the jinn both are only created to worship. So I asked the question to one of my mentor, Shujauddin Sheikh Saab, and I said, if we talk about the worshipping to Almighty, the if I say the minimum performance level is salah, fasting, and hajj, and zakah, and these all are actually segregated in different timings, different months, once in a lifespan, once in a year. So if I pray 5 times a day and then I also pray nawafil like, charged or ishraq or tahajjud, still that will actually in accumulation that will count around 5 hours or 6 hours a day. But in 24 hours, I still have 18 hours and I sleep for 8 hours. I still have 10 hours. I take, like 2 hours for the lunch, dinner, breakfast, and, just relaxing. Still, I have 7, 8 hours, which I go to the work. And the work is for my earning, for my, well-being, financial well-being. I work a lot and, I earn, alhamdulillah, a lot. So in that 8 hours, am I out of the worshipping to Almighty? Because I'm not worshipping. So he asked a very interesting question, and that defines you about the boss minimum performance level for the person C goes below that red line. He said, when you go to the office, what intentions you have? So I said many times, no intention. I just go to the office to work. He said, make some intentions. Do a niyyah. So I said, what kind of niyyah? He said, do you do fraud with your colleagues or the company or your owners? I said, no. Do you lie? Do you cheat? Do you miscommit? I said, no. He said, then do a near that. I'm going there. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna train them. I'm gonna guide them how to do their work efficiently, how they can also worship Almighty, how can they do the balance in life. So I said, okay, don't you think it's like a fake thing? I'm going to earn money and I do Nia for this. And but sometimes I have to be tough, I have to be rough, I have to be, very strict on some policy matters and all that. He said that, do you do zulm to your team? Do you go to transgression part of your conduct? Do you use abusive words? I said, no, that's not my part of the, personality. He said, then if you're taking work out from them with a good intention, with the training and guidance and, development of your team members, it is okay. If you don't do anything on your seat to disobey Almighty, to a creator, or you do not do anything which make Almighty angry, and you try to do everything which actually please Almighty, which is actually obedience of Almighty, submission to Almighty. And if you do that niya, that I'll do this, your every second in your office will be ibadah. You will be getting ajr out of it. And don't worry about that. Shaitan will tell you that it is fake, it is something made up of it. What kind of, niya is this? You are going to earn money out of that. But that niya will guide your actions and your behaviors during that 8, 9, 10 hours within the office premises. That you will not do anything which makes Almighty angry on you or which is disobedience. And you will try to do everything which please Almighty. So that will define the whole 24 hours worshipping. So this boss must be going into transgression part of with his team members, putting extra load, paying less, or using abusive words, or trying to bully them, or trying to show the power to them. So there, this person see, which is exceptional in almost everywhere. Husband is superb, as a brother is superb, as a Abdullah is superb even. So he's worshipping, prayers, zakah, fasting, and everything. Even for the self, for health, for reading, but he's not good to his colleagues, to his juniors, to his team members. So that is the concept of minimum performance levels. And you need to define your minimum performance levels in these roles. Because like for example, self, especially in subcontinent area, mothers destroy their health on the name of the sacrifice for the child. Wrong. That is transgression. You need to take care of yourself. You need to do some exercise. You need to take healthy diet. You need to sleep on time. You need to take care of your kids as well. But don't go to that level that yourself, your health, go to the below minimum performance level, which hurts you at the end of, your age when you're touching 50, 60, 70. Most of your organs will be compromised. Can we go to the next, please, brother? And we'll end in next two slides. So look at this performance of the father in this role, and all three of them at a different level of performance, but all are above the minimum performance level as a father. And the homework is that, next, please. And if you look at here, the person C goes way above the person A and B. So there's a different person, different set of the people, but look at the performance. The good part is that everyone is above the minimum performance level. So the homework for the next session is to at least do one deep meaning meeting with your child, please, in this month. Maybe we conduct after the Ramadan. So you got good 1.5 months. And write down the mandated roles, your mandated roles, and your elective roles, which is particularly relevant to yourself. And then create the minimum performance level for all those roles, especially the mandated, and then the elective. So, how much time, how much money, how much focus, what effort you're going to make in that thing. For example, if you have parents alive, inshallah, so also find out the minimum performance level in as a son. So in a week, how many hours I will spend with my mother or father, whoever is alive. So then you can only make yourself accountable and you can look into it. So Jazakallah for patient for listening. It's hard to be connected on the online for these kind of workshops, but it is my absolute pleasure to be talking to you through the screen. And inshallah, I tried my best to give you some, sort of an understanding. But if I, did not reach to your expectation, my apologies. Inshallah, I already shared the presentation. The presentation has the notes also into that in the detailed way so that you can understand the whole slide. You can go through even beyond that, the concept that I have discussed, but at least go through these parts and do your mandated roles, your elective roles, and your minimum performance levels in all those roles that you have selected for yourself. So Jazakallah, thank you very much, Numan Bhai and everyone, being very kind. And inshallah, we'll see you soon.
Jazakallah khaira for everyone who participated, and I think it was quite beneficial, inshallah ta'ala. So people should be able to go through the recordings on their own and make sure that we carry out all the tasks which have been, appointed. That'll be very useful, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah make it easy. Jazakallah khaira. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.